Right now caught on camera and caught by police. Why a Rock County homeowner says they are thankful for the help of social media.
And a deepening divide between the governor of Wisconsin and the world's largest electronics provider. The latest on the Foxconn development project straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. 3 teenagers are spending the night in the Rock County Jail after a home break-in early this week.
It was all caught on camera. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter spoke with the homeowners tonight. Adam?
Well, Eric and Charlotte, imagine you're on vacation and you get a notification on your phone that someone's currently breaking into your house. That's exactly what happened to one Janesville couple who now say they have a bit of advice for anyone heading out of town this holiday season.
I think that's a computer.
Oh my God, what is going on? And why me?
Home security video shows the moment 2 men broke into a Janesville house, trying to steal anything they could get their hands on.
First, the violation is a violation when people step into your house and rummage through your personal property.
Tonight, I spoke to the homeowner who asked to stay anonymous. He says he and a significant other were out of the state when their home security system alerted them of the break-in. It's a crime police in Janesville say is unfortunately all too common this time of year.
Sometimes, unfortunately, the holidays lend themselves to people looking for opportunity to, gain money, to accommodate their own family needs and things.
But while the homeowners were without some of their stuff, they still had this crystal clear video. Today, Janesville police posted it to Facebook and within 20 minutes had tips that led them to arrest 3 people: Reno Tom, Hunter Henkel, and Savannah Newland.
Our community banded itself together, and we've got an incredible number of tips, and just within a few hours of that posting even going out.
Police were also able to get back the stolen items. The homeowner still shaken, but now able to sleep a little bit easier.
The way they came into the house, they came in with purpose. They knocked down the door. They kicked everything down. So they came in with a purpose.
The homeowner says if you haven't already, they do recommend purchasing a home surveillance system like the one that they have. And police tell me it's allowing them to catch criminals like these ones faster than they ever have before.
Adam Duxter reporting tonight. Adam, thank you.
New tonight, a top aide to Governor Evers warned Foxconn last month that a scaled-down facility will not qualify for tax credits unless the company renegotiates with the state. That letter was sent last month but was released today. Foxconn originally proposed building a massive flat-screen plant in Mount Pleasant that would eventually employ 13,000 people in return for $3 billion in state incentives. But earlier this year, the company decided to downsize the factory to make smaller display screens for cell phones and other devices. Developing tonight, police are still working to learn who put hidden cameras in East High School students' hotel rooms in Minneapolis. Here in Wisconsin, we confirmed through Cottage Grove police they executed a search warrant at a home in the village of Cottage Grove yesterday. The Isthmus is reporting police also searched the school. Madison School Superintendent Jane Belmore says the district has put extra staff at Madison East High School to help support the students.
Jefferson Middle School says it will be hosting a family night in early January to address recent safety challenges at the school. According to a letter sent to parents today, Principal Tequila Kurth says a time and date for the event has not been set yet. She says this will be an opportunity for parents to express concerns and a time to generate solutions. It stems from an incident where a student shot a classmate with a BB gun. News 3 Now reported that student involved has had 24 previous write-ups before that incident this year. The woman accused of attacking a Madison teacher at Orchard Ridge Elementary School is out on a $500 signature bond tonight. According to a criminal complaint, LaCandace Walker's child has special needs and behavior problems. She allegedly came to the school very upset, grabbed the teacher by the hair, punched her in the face, threw her to the ground, and continued punching and kicking her. Walker is scheduled to be back in court at the end of the month. Hundreds of students in southeastern Wisconsin staged walkouts today demanding change after the 2 recent shootings at Waukesha South and Oshkosh West high schools. These students are from Wauwatosa West High School. They joined 13 other local schools in the walkout to get the attention of state lawmakers to change the laws to require universal background checks and extreme risk protection orders.
All right, the weekend is here. Let's get a look at our first alert forecast now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, temperatures are starting to cool down. We've had some areas of fog and also some flurries and freezing drizzle through the evening hours. But as we take a look at Doppler track right now, that band of snow showers and flurries just really fell apart as it pushed through southern Wisconsin. Right now, there might be a couple of patches of freezing drizzle or some flurries over Columbia and Dodge counties up toward Watertown and Beaver Dam. Otherwise, visibility right now is probably the bigger issue. Visibility down to 3 miles in Madison and some fog. Most areas, the fog not too dense, but still, that may limit your visibility if you're out driving tonight. High temperatures today, mid-30s in Madison, near 40 near the Illinois state line. To the northwest, temperatures stayed in the 20s. That colder air is starting to filter down now. Temperatures right now in the mid-20s. And tomorrow, we might only go up a couple of degrees in the morning before those temperatures start to fall again. Expect the possibility for a stray snow flurry or a little patchy freezing drizzle. Otherwise, it looks like a colder weekend, but quiet weather for next week. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Police are looking for an Atlanta attorney who happens to be a UW Whitewater graduate who went missing a week ago. Demetrius Allen hasn't been seen since going out with his friends December 6th. Now, he had texted friends that he left at a bar to go to a nearby fast food restaurant, but when they tried getting in touch with him the next day, they never heard back. President Trump could be just days away now from making history. 2 articles of impeachment were voted out of the Judiciary Committee today and are now headed to the vote for a full House vote on the House floor. The president's team appears to be gearing up for a trial in the Senate. Mr. Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, was at the White House this morning, shortly after the House Judiciary Committee voted along party lines to send 2 impeachment charges to the House floor, the first for abuse of power, the second for obstruction of Congress.
If we let the president get away with this misconduct, it means that every president for all time will be able to bring foreign powers into our elections.
Someday there'll be a Democrat president and there'll be a Republican House, and I suspect they're going to remember it.
The full House vote to impeach the president could take place as early as next Wednesday. Democratic House leaders expect a few defections from moderate members in vulnerable swing districts, but they do expect they have the votes needed to pass.
The Supreme Court says it will hear President Trump's pleas to keep his tax, bank, and financial records private. The justice's decision today means the court is likely to issue a final ruling in June amid Trump's campaign for re-election. He is trying to prevent the records from being turned over to House of Representatives committees and the Manhattan District Attorney, who is seeking the president's tax returns as part of a criminal investigation. Police arrested a 13-year-old boy and held another juvenile for questioning in the stabbing death of a Barnard college student in a New York City park near campus. Kenneth Craig has an update.
A female white said at this time, rest of us.
Investigators may have made a break in the brutal killing of 18-year-old Barnard College student Tessa Majors. The freshman from Virginia was fatally stabbed Wednesday evening in a New York City park near campus. Authorities believe it happened during an attempted robbery.
Looking for one male wearing a green jacket, unknown race, face was covered.
Police recognized the clothing of a 13-year-old suspect who was brought in for questioning on Thursday. He had a knife on him at the time of his arrest. The boy, who is being charged as a juvenile, was questioned by police in the presence of his uncle. CBS News has learned he confessed to the robbery and said he was involved in the killing. He implicated 2 others. One was brought in for questioning Friday. A third is still being sought.
We've lost somebody who is really special to us.
I was beginning to settle in on campus, and to hear about it was just such a reality check.
Mayor Bill de Blasio said the city has deployed additional police officers to the area after the stabbing.
So the idea that a college freshman at Barnard was murdered in cold blood is absolutely not only painful to me as a parent, it's terrifying to think that that could happen anywhere.
People who knew Tessa Majors describe her as a talented musician who was interested in becoming a journalist. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
If convicted as a juvenile, a 13-year-old can be sent to detention facilities until age 21 and possibly released after that.
Next at 10, local businesses are seeing an increase in sales after people are rushing into town for the UW-Madison Volleyball Championship. Some businesses, the owners on Monroe Street, say they expect an increase in sales from holiday shoppers as well, but Now they're seeing an even bigger increase because of the volleyball fans in town. Tickets for the Badger volleyball team sold out in 45 minutes on Monday, bringing in more fans than usual this time of the year. We'll have more of the Badgers' second straight Elite Eight appearance coming up a little later in sports. And it's Bears week at Lambeau Field. The Packers needed to get the stadium ready for Sunday's game, so dozens were inside the stadium today shoveling it out. Hundreds of fans helped out. The 200th meeting between the Packers and Bears will kick off at noon on Sunday at Lambeau Field.
Crews have completed removing all of the fuel from the Golden Ray, a cargo ship that has been overturned in St. Simon's Sound off Georgia since early September. That's more than 320,000 gallons. Crews are now working to remove the propeller and rudder, which weigh a total of approximately 130 tons. A plan to fully remove the ship has not been selected yet. The 656-foot vessel capsized on September 8th. The ship was carrying around 4,000 automobiles for export. The 24 people on board were all rescued. A popular gardening store in Cottage Grove is closing on Christmas Eve. The owner and her husband built their life together 49 years ago and have watched their business grow over the past 41 years. Last month, her husband died from stage 4 prostate cancer. When he died, it became too much for her to run the business on her own. She said not only will she miss the people, but the memories of the life she and her husband built there together.
Can't tell you. In my heart, I miss everything. He was my soulmate. I'll probably miss him the rest of my life.
She has a little less than 2 weeks to sell everything in her store, and right now most everything is 50% off.
Blue-collar character actor Danny Aiello has died. He made a career of playing tough guys, from a killer cop in Fort Apache, the Bronx, to a pizzeria owner in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, for which he received an Oscar nomination. But it was his portrayal of a clueless fiance in Moonstruck that gave him his big break. His family says Aiello died last night after a brief illness. He was 86. Over 1,000 people gathered to say goodbye to a renowned advocate for ALS research, Pete Frates, today. The funeral mass took place at St. Ignatius of Loyola Parish, next to his alma mater, Boston College. Frates was the inspiration behind the viral Ice Bucket Challenge, and he helped raise hundreds of millions of dollars for ALS research. He was 34 years old. And still ahead tonight, your full weekend forecast, including another chance for some freezing drizzle.
But first, the last day of a long, successful career within the Middleton Police Department. We'll have that story coming up next.
Today is Chuck Folk Day in Middleton, honoring the city's police chief who is retiring after 33 years with the department. He notably led Middleton through last year's workplace shooting at WTS Paradigm and calls that one of the most trying days of his career. Folk worked his way up the ranks from intern to police chief, holding 9 different positions at the department.
Working with those people in our community and having that positive interactions with them is something that I'll miss.
Folk expects the city council there will name a new chief next month. Christmas came early for one family this year. The Boys and Girls Club of Dane County surprised a single father of 3 children with a shopping spree worth $800 at Target, all thanks to an anonymous donor. This father was able to get car seats, clothes, and games for his kids right before the holidays. The Boys and Girls Club will be taking more family shopping on Thursday.
Microsoft just unveiled its next generation video game console, the Xbox Series X. It will be released during the 2020 holiday season. It resembles a PC tower and is far taller than its predecessor, the Xbox One X. Microsoft said in June that it will be 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X and comes with more memory, higher resolution, and better graphics. A church in Missouri is honoring the Notre Dame Cathedral, which suffered extensive damage this year from a massive fire. Church members are paying tribute with a detailed replica of the iconic structure made out of gingerbread. It includes 450 pounds of ingredients, 50 batches of gingerbread pretzels for railings, chocolate for gargoyles, chocolate Krispies for landscaping, and Jolly Ranchers for the stained glass windows. The masterpiece is 8 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 7 feet tall at its highest point. The capital of Kansas is willing to pay people to move there. Topeka officials approved a new program that offers incentives in hopes of attracting more people. The program is called Choose Topeka and partners with employers to offer $10,000 to renters and $15,000 for those who buy a house. These incentives are performance-based once a resident has spent a year living in that community.
New Year's Eve may be more than 2 weeks away, but New York is preparing. The Light Up 2020 numbers arrived in Times Square this week. They were lit today. 1 million people are expected to gather in the Big Apple to watch the event live. Millions more will watch the iconic ball drop on live television. And we just got done with Thanksgiving, the holiday travel season there, but now millions are preparing for another. AAA says this holiday season will break records. It expects more than 115 million people to leave their homes for a holiday destination this year. That's just within a 12-day period, December 21st through January 1st. AAA says nearly 105 million people will be on the road, which is about 4 million more than last year. At the same time, about 7 million Americans are expected to fly, the most since 2003.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now. I know you haven't looked that far ahead to Christmas because
actually, our computer models run out to about 10 days, so that takes us just about up to Christmas.
Just about.
And both of the longer range models are in pretty good agreement that the weather will be quiet and probably mild too.
Wow, so good traveling then.
Good traveling, but it does not bode well for a white Christmas around here. Tonight we've had a band of light snow showers, flurries, and a little patchy freezing drizzle move through. You can see how it just kind of broke apart as it moved into southern Wisconsin. But 3 things you need to know in the forecast. It'll turn colder tomorrow. Temperatures will reach a high of in the upper 20s early in the day and then fall off. Expect quiet weather for pretty much all of next week. Maybe a couple of flurries around Friday, but the weather should stay dry, and that could lead to a green Christmas this year across southern Wisconsin. In fact, you look at the 10-day temperature outlook, we should be cold enough for snow for the next few days, but really not much in the way of snow in the forecast other than some flurries tomorrow. And then slightly above normal temperatures, but still close to freezing toward the end of next week. Snow depth right now, you go just north of our viewing area, and there's several inches to a half a foot to a foot of snow on the ground. The farther north you go, 2 feet up near Lake Superior, but most of southern Wisconsin is snow-free, and this is the future track snowfall for the next 10 days. And I mean, a couple tenths of an inch, maybe. That's pretty much it. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. Those computer models feed into this, and you can see the chances for above normal temperatures, about a 50 to 60% chance, and that takes us through the Christmas holiday. Precipitation expected actually to be below normal in the 6 to 10-day period, above normal to our south and west in the 8 to 14-day period, but just a very slight uptick in the chances there. The some higher probabilities will be along the west coast as a series of storm systems will hit the west coast as we head into the days before Christmas. The almanac for today, high temperature 34, the low 25, and that's where we are right now. Temperatures 25. Skies have clouded up, some fog out there, humidity at 96%, so no wind chill to speak of with the light winds. Temperatures right now in the 20s to low 30s, the warm spot Milwaukee at 33. But as this little band of snow showers and flurries moved on through, notice the upper level winds, a little more northwesterly, but overall west to east flow. We don't see that big dip coming in out of Canada that would bring in a lot of colder air. So these cold fronts don't have a lot of push behind them. There's some colder air. A lot of that just builds up over the widespread snow cover to the north, and some of that just kind of loosens and comes southward as each weather system passes by. So tomorrow the winds shift around to the northwest. Temperatures drop off a bit, but it doesn't turn bitterly cold. By Sunday, we're back to some sunshine. The next weather system could bring accumulating snow to our south across parts of Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, but maybe a couple of flurries here on Monday, and that's pretty much about it. And then we should see dry weather pretty much for the rest of the week. Cloudy skies overnight, some areas of fog, some patchy freezing drizzle possibility. Temperatures about where they are right now at 25. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, breezy and turning colder. An outside chance of a flurry or patchy freezing drizzle. High 28 early and then falling temperatures. Notice the readings dropping to about where they are now at 25. Going up a couple degrees tomorrow morning and then dropping off again in the afternoon. As skies clear out tomorrow night, temperatures will fall into the lower teens. And then on Sunday, we'll see sunny skies, but high temperatures only in the lower 20s. 7 to 10 day forecast. Brief warm up on Monday. Again, a couple of flurries as that weather system passes to the south. Otherwise, very quiet weather, not only for next week, but next weekend. And Monday, that's just a couple of days before Christmas. And you can see, you don't even see any precipitation underneath those symbols. I have to write it in. Oh, a chance of a flurry or a little patchy freezing drizzle. That's it, at least for now.
I'm getting lazy here.
Makes the job a little easier for right now, but still, everybody wants to know, is it going to be White Christmas?
Right.
Safe travels, though, are good.
Yeah,
if you don't have to deal with all that stuff.
I'm not going to complain about that.
All right. Thanks, Gary.
Sure.
Should Jonathan Taylor be in New York this weekend? A two-time Doak Walker Award winner tells us why the Heisman voters got it right. That's next in sports.
Well, the Badger football team's award banquet was tonight, and among the big winners, Quintus Cephas winning Comeback Player of the Year and Offensive Impact Player of the Year. Now, Wisconsin had some big winners last night on the national stage as well. Tyler Biage earning the Badgers' first Remington Award, and Jonathan Taylor winning the Doak Walker for the second year in a row. But there's another award ceremony that's happening this weekend in New York City, one that JT wasn't invited to. So was he stunned that he wasn't a Heisman finalist?
Oh, no, I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, you look at the guys who went there. I mean, I'd pick to bring those guys to New York, too. So, I mean, that's why we have voters, you know, so they can vote on the guys to bring up there. And I'm sure that, you know, it'd be a great experience. But, and who wouldn't like to go up there? So.
Meanwhile, we've got a familiar setup tomorrow evening at the Field House. The Badgers will face former Wisconsin head coach John Cook and his four-time defending national champion Nebraska Huskers. So how did the Badgers get here? Well, thanks in part to a packed Field House against Texas A&M earlier today in Wisconsin was very aggressive from the start. Madison had 6 kills today. She gets one there, and the Badgers take the first set 25-20. In the second set, Badgers are up. Danielle Hart gets the block. She finished with 4 up front. They win that one 25-17. Match point now, and it would be who else but Dana Retke. She led the team with 14 kills, and 3 Badgers finishing with double-digit kills in this match. Badgers sweep Texas A&M. They have now won 9 consecutive sets, thanks in large part to their consistency and attitude and effort.
I go with the same mentality every single match. I want to get kills. I want to put the ball away, score points. So that's my mentality for every single match. And I mean, Clark dimed that pass, and it was that pass was even better than the kill. So
yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, no matter who we're going to play, we're expecting a battle. We're expecting 5 sets, going extra points. So really excited.
Now, during the regular season, the Badgers swept the Huskers both at the Field House and on the road, something that hasn't happened ever in program history. Now, the winner of tomorrow's Elite 8 matchup punches a ticket to the Final Four in Pittsburgh next weekend. To some Swall wrestling tonight as Mineral Point taking on the defending state champions, Fenimore Golden Eagles. To the 220 pounds, Fenimore's Aaron Regals puts his opponent on his back. He gets the 42-second pin. Golden Eagles are up. Then at heavyweight, Fenimore's Braxton Wilson adding to the lead with another pin for them. But Mineral Point not giving in 113 pounds. Trapper Nafsker getting the escape and the win. Pointers down by 10, but the defending state champs just too much tonight. Fenimore's Aiden Nutter with back points on the tilt. He gets the technical fall, and Fenimore wins big 48-18 over Mineral Point. We'll be right back.
Temperatures right now are in the mid-20s. Have some fog out there, so there could be a few slippery roads. Otherwise, temperatures turn colder this weekend, and then we warm up toward the end of next week.
Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good and have a great weekend.